BYJU'S exam prep brings to you the second All India Open mock from the 9th to the 18th of September. Go ahead, register now on the BYJU'S exam prep app and compete against thousands of aspirants.
All right, then let's begin. So, good noon, Stroke. Hi, Varsha. Good noon. Thank you, Varun. I was not well. That's why I couldn't take sessions. So now I'm back. Hi, Ritika. Hello, Bilasha. Good noon. Good noon. Hi, Disha. All right. So we continue with our RC toolkit, right? In our RC toolkit, we have talked about speed reading, skimming, scanning. We've practiced some RC passages. We have looked at some other skills. We've seen where which genres are important, where you should practice from, right? All those things we've covered in our RC toolkit. Now, continuing with it, today we'll talk about how to get 100% accuracy in RCs. To be more accurate, I will talk to you about how to maximize your accuracy in RC passages. See, because again, our goal is to maximize our score, keeping in mind our time constraint. If we are able to reach 100%, nothing like it. Okay, but even if we are not able to reach there, we have to focus on maximizing our accuracy rather than getting 100% in one RC at the cost of other RCs. That is not something that we have to do. Okay, so let's talk about this. But before I begin, I want to emphasize this that in case you have not taken this mock, in case you've not appeared for this yet, the window closes on 18th. Okay, so today and tomorrow. No, today, tomorrow, and day after. See, these are the days that you have for this mock. Do take it. It's a good mock. There are these balanced RC passages. Those of you who have taken some mocks and who felt that, okay, they are extraordinarily difficult, trust me, this one matches the level of CAT 2021. Okay, and you yourself will see that you are able to attempt those RC passages. If not all the questions, at least some questions of RC passages you are able to attempt, because that was the case in CAT 2021 also, right? So matches the exact level of CAT 2021, and it will help you to evolve a strategy for CAT, right? So which is a very important thing. Right now we are in mid-September, so do take this and do let me know how you found it. If you have any queries, we can always discuss in our session, and otherwise you will see mock attempt for this by experts. There will be question wise video solutions also, so I don't think there will be any scope for queries also, right? So on this note, let's talk about RC passages. Struggling with the sources to practice RC passages from. Okay, Varsha, sure. Let me go to an empty slide. Right, so if you're talking about sources for practice, let me write them here only. Sources for RC practice. So, first of all, you have a lot of CAT previous year papers available. Don't just look at the papers from 2015 to 2021. Go to the early papers also. So, 2006, 2007, they are some brilliant papers, right, that you should have a look at as far as CAT is concerned. So, CAT previous year papers, practice all of them that are available. That is one thing. In case you're already done with this, then the level of ZAT RCs is in fact a notch higher than CAT RCs. So I would suggest that go for your ZAT previous year papers as well. Okay, it will prepare you for CAT definitely. As I said, the level is a notch higher, not lower. Right. Apart from this, see, in case, let's say, you are not just focused on CAT and you are taking other exams also. So in fact, for NMAT, the perfect source I believe is the NMAT official guide. It's the perfect source. It gives you NMAT previous year papers also, previous year RC passages also, which are not otherwise available in the public domain, right? So again, it gives you an idea of the actual level, and some of your NMAT RCs, the level of some of them matches CAT. So this is again a good source. In case you're done with all of this, right? You're done with all of this and now you want something to practice from. In case you're done with all the non-CAT papers as well, right? When I say non-CAT, I mean IFT, okay, SNAP, and NMAT I've already stated, ZAT I've already stated, TISNET, okay, etc. etc. In case you're done with this also, then in case you are able to get hold of the GMAT RC passages, GMAT RC passages, again, they are of the level of CAT and sometimes even a notch higher in case you are able to get hold of them. So again, there is something called a GMAT official guide, and when you buy it, you get access to all the RC passages that are there. So these are also going to serve you well as far as your prep is concerned. So I've given you all sources that are and see, when you practice from previous year papers, no, you get to know the actual level. These are not created by, let's say, these have not been created as some model practice papers or sample papers. These are actual papers, so they'll give you an idea of the actual level. So I think these many sources are enough for you to practice RC passages from. Right? Abhilasha, do take a shot at NMAT. That would be my suggestion. Okay, because at 91.46, while you may get some colleges, I am not very sure how good these colleges will be. Right? Okay. Now coming to our discussion for the day. Good afternoon, those who have just joined us. RCs in ZAT, they can be relatively shorter, yes, but they are, the length is not fixed. So I have seen some RCs as lengthy as 600 words also. Some are pretty short, you are right, they are just the length of one paragraph. So yes, the length here varies. Okay, but even in CAT, the average length is 500 words only. So you will get ample 500 word passages in ZAT previous year papers as well. Okay, all right then. Now coming to our discussion. RCs were very lengthy, Varun. Okay. In that case, we need to work on our reading speed, one, and our solving speed, because sometimes, students think my reading speed is slow, but the reality is that it's their solving speed. They take more time in attempting the questions rather than reading the RC passage, because of which they suffer. So see what is the case with you. I think right now, because we are in an advanced stage of our preparation, this is more likely to be the case. Because see, if I compare it with the previous mocks of BYJU'S exam prep, then uh, I felt that a student could complete all the four RCs in this All India mock, that a student could go through all the four RCs, provided the student has practiced the previous 9 mocks also. That is always there. It's also your speed is a product of your practice. So I felt that. So in case you feel that you were not able to see what are the reasons why you found them time consuming, was it something about the RC? Was it the genre? Or was it that you were stuck in some questions? And accordingly, you can evolve a solution. Right? The solution, then if you were if it was a genre, you need to read about that genre, you need to read more such articles, you need to practice such RC passages. If it's about solving, then go into the depth why this question took more time to solve. Right? That's how we analyze. Okay, meaning of mundane stroke. So with internet at our doorstep, meaning of mundane is something that's very routine, boring, ordinary, quotidian. These are the synonyms, okay? Quotidian. Sometimes it can be used for dull, boring also, right? Dull, boring, banal, okay, banal, trite. So these are some synonyms for mundane, which means something that's very routine or ordinary, boring, etc. Okay, so let's begin now. Yes. Now, coming to factors that affect your RC accuracy. So, it could be the genre of the RC, right? That we are not comfortable with it, we're not familiar with it. So, as one of you is just asking me, Varsha is just asking me that how to, improve at political RC passages. So, let's say politics or political philosophy. I think what poses more of a challenge for students is political philosophy. If they're not aware about what communism is, what liberalism is, etc., etc. So, in that case, see, being aware of these basic terms of our times, right? Communism, liberalism, capitalism, okay, socialism. We should be aware of these basic terms at least. Okay, in fact, I took this session, I remember. It is there on over YouTube even now. Must know words to navigate political RC passages or to navigate politics RC passages. Right. So this is one thing that you can watch, and I think it will help you at least get an idea of the basic terms related to the political philosophy world, right? These philosophies, communism, socialism, etc. So you should know about the basic terms of the field, and then you should read some articles on that. Just being aware of the basic terms does not help. Okay, what have been the views on those philosophies, or what is happening in the political world? What kind of a world is there today? Is it a capitalist world? Is it a socialist world? Is it a mixed world? Okay, those things. So read articles related to this. Initially, they will not make much sense to you because this is a genre that you're not comfortable with it. But gradually, as you keep up at it, as you Google the meanings of the terms that you do not understand, your understanding, your comprehension will improve. Right? So this is how you become better at a genre, by first knowing the basic terms, and then you're reading the articles. In the articles also, whatever is not clear, you Google that. Okay, then we can solve some RC passages on it. All right. Now, another thing that can affect our accuracy. See, a lot of times, students think that a genre is a problem with them. They feel that, okay, politics is a problem with them. But in reality, it's not politics that is the problem. It is the language of the passage. Let's say the language is difficult. There are difficult vocabulary words that have been used, right? Or a very formal writing style has been used. It's not easygoing or conversational. That is what is posing a problem for you. So language is another factor that can affect your accuracy. And that is why I tell students that in the exam I make sure that my very first RC passage is not something that is of a genre that I do not like or I'm unfamiliar with, and is of a language level that is pretty difficult. I don't start with that RC passage in my exam because I feel that if I start with it, I may end up spending more time than necessary on it because I have that kind of time in the beginning, right? And secondly, because the genre is also unfamiliar for me, I may find the questions at the end of the day difficult to attempt. So I don't start with such RC passages, and this can be a big factor affecting your accuracy in the exam. Question types and options. Yes, again, something that students forget. Sometimes they don't work on their question type. So they straight away start solving RC passages, okay, and they think that if I just straight away delve into an RC passage, gradually I'll learn how to solve the question types. This is a trial and error approach. Sometimes you learn, sometimes you don't. So you should know how to attempt an inference question. You should know in advance how to attempt a main idea question. So the theoretical concepts behind question types should be clear to you. So, and how do you get to know it's not clear to you? In case, let's say you've taken 5-6 marks so far and you realize main idea question hamesha galat ho raha hai, right? You always get this question wrong. That means you need to go back and go to the basics of how to attempt a main idea question. Right. So these are some factors that affect our accuracy, and if we address these concerns, then we will be able to reach 100% accuracy for some of our RC passages. And definitely, I have highlighted this in bold. I'm going to discuss this in detail. How do options affect our accuracy and how not to fall in the traps of various options that the examiner has designed for us. Right? Okay. Now, let's address your queries. Okay. So, Ankita, how can you get free mock tests? See, a lot of coaching institutes, they provide you some free mock tests, but nobody is going to give you a whole series of mock tests free of charge. So a series is not possible. Yes, a couple of mocks here and there, those you can always find. Just like this All India mock of ours is free of charge, right? Then coming to Snap course. Yes, there is a new batch, Ajit, that will be coming up for CAT 23. There's no Snap specific course or Snap specific batch that we have. Okay, we have a CAT 22 batch which prepares you for all the entrance exams out there. Now, as far as in case you're interested in attending Snap specific sessions, then when Snap comes near, we will launch 15-20 days of sessions for Snap, wherein we'll have VRC, QA, LRDI, everything. So you can attend those sessions. Those are open for everyone. They are free of charge. Okay. In NMAT, we won't get the next question until we solve. Yes, in NMAT, that constraint is there in NMAT. NMAT is the only exception where, this constraint is there. You can't really choose your question types there, right? You can't really choose your RC passages there. But with all the other exams, you can do that. Okay? Essay writing, no, it does not have a negative marking, so to say. In fact, see, it is not counted towards your marks, your ZAT score on the basis of which you are shortlisted. Your essay writing score is not counted towards that, right? It is counted at the second stage, your essay. Okay, so at the second stage, and its marks, so to say, are not really revealed to you. Okay, so no negative marking there. For NMAT, yes, Varsha. For NMAT, yes. Okay, they are there. Now, coming to, yes, so this is something that I showed you in one of the previous sessions also. And why am I showing this to you again? Because I want to establish this, that when I talk about 100% accuracy in RCs, it is quite possible for some of your RC passages. So for instance, if I talk about slot 1, we have done this RC passage in one of our previous sessions. If you ask me, this was one of those RC passages where the questions were such. See, the language was not extremely difficult. T-trade is genre, business and economics is such a genre that most of the students would have read something or the other on it. And even the questions were not very difficult. So here it was, for instance, possible to get 100% accuracy easily. In cuttlefish experiments RC passage, 3 out of 4 questions you could attempt accurately. In one question, there was a slight dispute among some students, right? So that question was a controversial one. Apart from this, otherwise, this passage was also pretty easy. However, if I talk about 1 and 4 here it was slightly tricky to get 100% accuracy, right? Unless, let's say, VA happens to be your strength and you had been getting 99 percentile plus in all your mocks. So these passages were relatively challenging. So in your exam, not all passages are going to be such where, let's say, you should aim for 100% accuracy, because you might end up wasting a lot of time then, and you might end up compromising on your VA section, which we do not want, right? So this is just to show you that some passages will fetch you 100% accuracy while some passages may not, but it's okay as long as we are maximizing our overall score, right? Okay, so what do you have to do? Now, yes, last lab for NMAT is going to begin. I'm going to announce this towards the end, right? Scientific American, you can just go to the website, Scientific American, it's there. I have framed RC passages from it, so I know it's available for free also, right? So first thing is that, see, there are always going to be the kinds of options that are very easy to eliminate. I told you we'll talk about options in detail. So first, when you look at a question, see if such low-hanging options, low-hanging fruit is there. That means those options that you can easily eliminate. So something that is outrightly false as per the passage. The moment you identify it, just eliminate it and then don't ever look at that option again, right? Then something that's not mentioned at all in the passage, eliminate and again don't look at it again. Students waste a lot of time because they keep on re-evaluating even those options that they have eliminated. Don't do that. That wastes time. So these are those that you can easily eliminate. And in quite a few questions, the examiner makes 1 or 2 such options. Okay, in quite a few questions this happens. False or not mentioned. Now, then what are the trap options where a student sometimes gets stuck or confused? One that is not completely unrelated but goes slightly out of scope, goes slightly beyond those options. So you can actually, when you're eliminating, you can mark that as iffy in your head, just categorize it as iffy and then look at the other option and compare, right? So in case the other option is closer to the RC passage, is addressing the question also, then of course this is not the answer, because it's going beyond and it may not properly be addressing the question, right? So this is something that you have to take care of. A lot of students make mistake here because they feel that, okay, we can take that leap. If we are inferring, students feel that taking leaps is allowed. See, you have to stick to the passage. You have to stay close to the passage. This is not inference as it happens in real life. In our real life, we make a lot of conjectures, predictions that are based on our own experiences, and they take leaps. In an RC passage, that does not happen. You can't take leaps. You can't use your previous knowledge and background. You just have to stick to the RC passage. Okay, so something that takes a leap, something that goes beyond. Distorted. I change one word. I make it extreme. I, let's say, invert the relationships that are given in the passage. The passage says X leads to Y. I say Y leads to X in the option. So if you're not paying attention, you may mark it. Or the passage does not give any relationship between X and Y. X is mentioned in para 2, right? And Y is mentioned in para 3. But the option automatically creates a relationship between the two. So such options are distorted options. Be careful about these, because if you do not notice that, okay, this has been made extreme, this word is an extreme word. If you do not notice this, if you're not paying attention, if let's say you did not read the passage with concentration here, you might end up marking the distorted options, right? Incomplete, something that does not address the question completely, does not give a complete answer. So if you're reading in a hurry, you might feel, oh yes, this is the answer, but because uh, I mean, let's say you were not reading with concentration, you did not realize कि ये पूरा answer नहीं है. Okay, so such options can be easy to eliminate if you pay attention. This is not a very difficult category to eliminate. Lastly, this is a dangerous category. This is a dangerous category. True, but does not address the question. So I pick up a true sentence from the RC passage. I put it as an option, but it's not answering the question. Maybe it is mentioned above the part in the RC passage that answers the question. Maybe it is mentioned below that part such that students get confused, but it is not addressing the question. So it's a very dangerous option out there that you should take care of. So these are some of the traps that I have realized over the years through RC practice, that these are some standard types of traps that I've seen examiners putting in exams over the years. So being aware of them helps you to navigate them easily, to eliminate them easily, right? Okay, some questions here. This is for 2022, okay, but the things that we're talking about today, they are general things about RC passages, how to improve your accuracy. So even if you are preparing for 2023, Gagandeep, आपको help होगी, ठीक है? Okay. Conjugate. You tell me, it's a mathematical concept also, and it's used in English as well. Conjugate. Yes. Conjugate. So I remember we put something in a modulus, right? And then we call it conjugate in mathematics. That's how it works. That this is the conjugate. In English, we use it more in the sense of a complement. Okay. And to conjugate a marriage, when we talk about conjugating a marriage, is to basically complete a marriage, to consummate a marriage, right? That is called conjugate. Conjugal relationships are marital relationships, right? So this is the meaning of conjugate in general. Otherwise, it's a niche term that's used in mathematics. It's also used in various sciences, chemistry, biology, etc. Right? Okay. Now, coming to what to choose. What is it that we should choose? The correct option is that option that is first either true as per the passage. Yeah, so वो true ही है as per the passage. You can see that it's written there. It's either being straight away quoted from the passage or it has been paraphrased. Paraphrase means put in the examiner's own words, right? Or it is very close to the passage or closest to the passage given the options. Closest to the passage when compared to the other options. And this is very important. See, I've highlighted this in bold. And it addresses the question, right? And it addresses the question. That is your correct option, right? Okay. Now, so Varun, you can take a second attempt. Okay. NM colleges are accepting the first attempt. Okay, so NM colleges have stated that we'll accept the first attempt. That is written in their admission brochure document. Okay, so it's up to you now, seeing that, okay, which all colleges are accepting this, accepting the second attempt. Are you targeting those colleges? If yes, then you can take a second attempt. But yes, re-attempts are possible. You can take up to 2 re-attempts. Okay. All right. Now, I hope you've been learning something so far, right? And I'm making sense when I give you that, okay, these are the various traps that an examiner can create for you. Okay. Now, let's talk about an RC passage. Yes. So we look at an RC passage here. It's a very easy read. Still, whatever small little vocabulary words I could find here and there, I have highlighted them in bold for you. We'll discuss them after you've read the RC passage, right? Extremely easy, followed by 5 questions which we are going to attempt. So this is the kind of passage where you can actually target 100% accuracy, right? Let's begin reading. Yes. Let me know once you've finished. All right. Done. This one as well. Versa, actually a question has been framed on that sentence. So I'll explain it when we do that question. This paragraph done. All right, perfect. Accumulating is collecting, gathering. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. All right. Okay, then let's talk about the first question. So, which of the following interventions would the author most strongly support? That's the question. Author, what will the author support? So, that means we should understand the opinion of the author when we read the RC passage, the viewpoint of the author. Definitely, that's an important thing to understand. Okay. First, recycling all plastic debris in the seabed, having all consumers change their plastic consumption habits, completely banning all single-use plastic bags, passing regulations targeted at producers that generate plastic products. What do you say? What will he most strongly support? See, of course, there are two close options here. So think that out of those two close options, which one matches the main point of this passage more? Okay. So I've got 1, 3 and 3 fours. What about others? All right. Okay. Okay. That's it. So few responses. So see this. The author is saying that recycling plastic, first of all, see this here. In the beginning, encouraging individuals to recycle more will never solve the problem of a massive production of single-use plastic that should have been avoided in the first place. So the author thinks that asking individuals to recycle is not a feasible solution. Moreover, the author has stated towards the end that recycling is also too hard in most parts of the US and lacks the proper incentives to make it work well. So this has been mentioned at two places. So I don't think the author is going to strongly support it. These two were easy to eliminate actually. Then the author has very strongly stated this, that asking consumers is not going to help much. Okay, target the producers. That is what the author's central argument throughout this passage has been. Right? That asking consumers is like a drop in the ocean. It's not going to make a significant impact. So these two were easy to eliminate. Now, 3 is tempting, I understand, because the author talks about single-use plastic bags and is critical about them. But most strongly support, the author's main point here is that, producers are just producing plastic products, generating plastic waste in an uninhibited manner. And you are asking consumers that, you recycle, you become environmentally conscious. So that is what the author has a problem with. So this is something that is the closest to the main idea, the central viewpoint of the author given in this RC passage. And that's why 4 is our answer and not 3. Right, so have you attempted all in your mock? There is a poll in your chat box. Okay, that's good to know that 56% of you have attempted it. Great. We want these numbers to increase. Okay, and yes. So 4th is the answer here. Good. Most of you identified. See, I told you that this is that kind of a passage where you can get 100% accuracy. Now, question 2. The author lists all of the following as negative effects of the use of plastics except. So, what is not stated as a negative effect? You have to identify that. Yes, tell me. This is something that's based on your retention, right? So, in case, I think you should retain this information. First of all, you should be able to eliminate here. In case you do not, in case you have queries and you remember, okay, in which paragraph this is mentioned, in which paragraph this, wherever you read them. So you can go back and check. Has the slowing pace of degradation been mentioned? It has been. See, it can persist in the environment for half a millennium. So I can eliminate it. Okay, okay. Good. Good to see that most of you have identified this. I think my hesitation in marking too, I hope that didn't give you a clue. Poisonous chemicals that are released, in fact, they are now entering our seafood. The author also talks about that. And the author talks about how animals, because they have this food smell, okay, they resemble the smell of some of the animal foods, animals mistakenly eat them, because of which their digestive tracts are impacted. This has also been stated. So 2 has not been talked about, air pollution while recycling plastics. So that's why 2 is the answer, not 4. Not 4. See, this is mentioned. They resemble through entanglement, and they pose multiple threats to wildlife through entanglement and consumption. More recent reports highlight dangers posed by the absorption of toxic chemicals in the water by plastic odors that mimic some species' natural food. Okay, plastics also accumulate up the food chain, and we are also ingesting it ourselves. So I understand that precisely the term digestive tracts has not been talked about, but the consumption has been talked about. Okay, how it poses a danger to them has been talked about, right? So it has at least been discussed, unlike our option 2, which has not been discussed at all, right? Okay, coming to 3. In the first paragraph, the author uses lie to refer to what? I hope you've read the options. Yes, let's go back. In such a question, you can go back. See, it's there in the first paragraph. You remember that it was the first sentence. So, in case you're not able to narrow down there, you can very easily go back here. The only thing worse than being lied to is not knowing you are being lied to. It's true that plastic pollution is a huge problem of planetary proportions, and it's true we could all do more to reduce our plastic footprint. The lie is, here is your answer. The lie is that the blame for the plastic problem is wasteful consumers and that changing our individual habits will fix it. So, see, just going back and rereading this actually ensured 3 marks for me, and now you can answer this. Okay, all right. Others? I see you guys are not very enthusiastic responders. Yes, this is now like a walk in the park. It's one, the blame assigned to consumers for indiscriminate use of plastics. Right? Indiscriminate is when, let's say, you do something excessively. Okay? Enormity of the plastic pollution problem, the extent of the intensity of the plastics pollution problem. Right? So vocabulary matters even for solving questions, not just for understanding RC passages. Question 4. In the second paragraph, the phrase, what hammering a nail is to halting a falling skyscraper. What does this mean? What does this phrase mean? Right? So again, let's go back once and reread that portion. It will give you a clue. So, recycling plastic is to saving the earth what hammering a nail is to halting a falling skyscraper. You're hammering a nail in a falling skyscraper. You struggle to find a place to do it and feel pleased when you succeed. But your effort is wholly inadequate and distracts from the real problem of why the building is collapsing in the first place. Right. So from here to here, the author is actually explaining why recycling plastic is like hammering a nail to halting a falling skyscraper. Right. And then the author says, the real problem is not the fact that it's not being recycled. The real problem is that it's being produced. Right. Why are we producing it? So, okay. Coming to this now. Question 4. What do you say? Do we? Yes. Quick. 4. Okay. Skyscraper is this huge building, right? It's like it's scraping the sky, it's reaching the skies. That's the idea. That's why it's called a skyscraper. So imagine you are trying to stop a building from falling. How? By hammering a nail in it. That's a wholly insufficient effort, isn't it? So the author says that, asking consumers that, you start recycling, you become more environment friendly. That's a drop in the ocean. That's such a small effort as, hammering a nail is to stopping a building from falling. Okay. So our answer should not be 4. It is 3. Focusing on consumer behavior to tackle the problems of plastic pollution. This, in the author's opinion, is the same as hammering a nail is to halting a skyscraper. Because the author says it's not the consumer behavior that is the culprit. The culprit is the excessive production that is happening, the indiscriminate production that is happening. Okay, so doing this is completely inadequate. All right. Focusing on single-use plastic bags to reduce the plastic footprints. This is not what is happening. See, uh, single-use plastics has been given as an example. Okay, single-use plastic has been extended as an example and not really as the problem. So, author को क्या inadequate लग रहा है? Author को ये inadequate नहीं लग रहा that we are focusing just on single-use plastics and not on other things. Author को problematic ये लग रहा है that we are focusing on telling consumers, okay, you recycle plastic, you don't use it, whereas we should be targeting the producers that you don't produce it, right? So D is peripheral in its nature. D is just giving an example in a distorted manner. That is what it is doing. It's focusing on an example, that of single-use plastic, and that too in a distorted manner. So 4 is not the answer here, right? 2 says encouraging the responsible production of plastics by firms. No, this is not like hammering a nail to halting a falling skyscraper. This is what the author wants. This is going to be a sufficient effort. We right now need to talk about which effort is insufficient, like hammering a nail, like a drop in the ocean, right? So 3 is the answer. 2 तो चाहता है author की हो जाए. 1, relying on emerging technologies to mitigate the ill effects of plastic pollution. This goes out of our scope, out of scope. This has not even been discussed in our paragraph where I just read this sentence, right? So this one was easy to eliminate. 1. Okay. Coming to question 5. Now, this one thing that I would like to highlight. Option 2 was this kind of an option that you see as the viewpoint of the author in the RC passage. So it's not an incorrect statement, so to say. The author is of the viewpoint that we should encourage responsible production of plastics by firms, but it is not addressing the question. True, but not addressing the question. Remember? Okay. This one is distorted. So you will see, after some practice that you're able to categorize your options that should be eliminated into these various categories that I've just given you today. Okay. Coming to question 5. Yes. What do you say for question 5? It can be inferred that the author considers the Keep America Beautiful organization. What is the author's view on this organization? Is it positive? Is it negative? Just knowing this can help you in answering this question. Yes. What is the author's view? So, the author is critical of this organization, isn't it? The author says, Keep America Beautiful. Fine, it had this mission. At face value, these efforts seem benevolent, well-intentioned, but they hide the real problem, which is the role that corporate polluters play in the plastic problem. This clever misdirection has led journalist and author Heather Rogers To describe Keep America Beautiful as the first corporate greenwashing front, as it helped shift the public focus to consumer recycling behavior and actively prevented legislation that would increase extended producer responsibility for waste management. Okay, so its greatest success has been to shift the responsibility of environmental, to shift the duty, onus can be said as duty also, to shift this duty of environmental responsibility onto the public, while simultaneously becoming a trusted name in the environmental movement. So right from here to here, the author is critical. 3 and 4 cannot be our answers. An important step and an innovative example. Okay, so it has to be 1 or 2. Yes. A greenwash, yes, the author calls it a greenwash because it was a benevolency, benevolent, that's how the dictionaries pronounce it, benevolent. Ben means good, wallows means wish. So benevolent is somebody who wishes well for you is a benevolent person for you, right? So this was a well-intentioned attempt. So because it was a well-intentioned attempt to improve public recycling habits, that's why it's a greenwash. Does not match, right? And see, this is an example of a partially correct option, something that is partially correct. The author does call it a greenwash, but the author says that it is not actually a benevolent attempt. It seems like a well-intentioned attempt to improve public recycling habits, but that is the problem. It is focusing more on public recycling and diverting the attention from the role of corporates. So our answer has to be 2. Absolutely correct. Aditi, Anushka, Swachita, Varun, Saurabh, Ipsua, Disha, Mohit. Yeah, all of you got it correct. Right. So, who all got 100% accuracy in this one, in this RC passage? Yes. Who all got 100% accuracy? Do tell me, do let me know. Okay, nobody's responding. Okay, 80% accuracy. That means one incorrect. You can tell me about 80% accuracy. 80 or above. 80 or above. Those who got. Okay, Mohit got 80. Others. So that means, see, if in case you didn't, this is not something to be discouraged about. It's just that we need to reach there where we get at least an 80% accuracy in such passages, right? So that should be our effort. That's where we have to reach. 1 wrong, 4 correct. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not counting the negatives here. Not counting the negatives. Not so basically 4 correct को मैं 80% बोल सकते हैं ना? There are 5. Yes, yes. 80% accuracy. 4 correct. ठीक है. All right. Good. 100. Oh, great, great. Perfect. So, you yourself have seen today, this was a CAT previous year passage only. This came in CAT 2018, slot 1, I believe. And you just saw that there are going to be some RC passages in CAT where you can get 100% accuracy, provided you take care of the things that I've just told you, particularly on the options front, on the elimination front. Right. So I hope this session helped you, and we will keep, keep this RC toolkit will keep going on till your exams. So we will keep this alive, right? So on your part, you have to take mocks, you have to practice, then only it will become a complete exercise, right? I hope you enjoyed the session. If yes, then please do press the like button. I'll see you tomorrow at 12. Yes, we are starting a last lap to NMAT. Somebody was asking this. A complete revision for your NMAT various sections in 15 days. This will happen at 3 p.m. every day from 19th September to 3rd October. Right? So do watch it, do join it, and I will be taking 2 sessions here. Savitri ma'am is taking 2 sessions, 2 VRC sessions here. So all our experts are going to take sessions here for you. And yes, somebody was asking about this. I think this is our CAT 2023 comprehensive program. Okay, so in case you're planning to take it next year, I think Gagandeep was asking me. So this is all that we give you. CAT learning tablet where you have some pre-recorded videos. There are live classroom sessions. So 135 plus live sessions which are taken by our experts, right, including me. Then mock tests, 70 plus mocks. Practice tests apart from the mock tests, right? There are recorded lectures also. Okay, so these will be available on the tablet. Then you have access to something called Learn Journey, right? So basically there we'll talk about what is the ideal way to uh, cater to address each section, right? So this is something called Learn Journey. It's an added feature this year. GDPI plus WAT prep, that was present this year also. It will be there for CAT 23 as well. And yes, you do get study notes also. So 5+ years, previous year questions with solutions, right? We have recorded these with a lot of effort for you, and a lot of notes, PDFs and everything that students keep searching for. So this is our CAT 23 comprehensive program. You can enroll now, and for details you can talk to our counselors. This is where you can follow us. We can stay connected over Facebook, Telegram, and you can join our Telegram channel as well to stay connected with each other also. Right? I'll see you tomorrow. Parajumbles, yes, we will practice parajumbles for sure. It's not just that we'll be having an RC toolkit only. In fact, I just took a parajumble session, I remember. This month only, I think, I took a parajumble session. It's there in the BYJU'S exam prep. When you go to the channel, no, just scroll a little down. You will find a parajumble session. How to address them, how to tackle them. Okay. Reading novels can help you, Arun. So, see, reading helps. Now, what should you read? You can read fiction, you can read non-fiction. Now, how does fiction help? It can help you in terms of building a reading speed. In case, let's say, you are reading a pacey novel, a thriller, it can help you in terms of speed. It can help you with vocabulary, right? It can help you with a reading habit and stamina. So in this way, fiction can help you. Non-fiction can help you a little more closely because it can help you in terms of various genres also. So if you're reading something on business and economics, you will gain knowledge on the genre. This might help you in an RC passage. So non-fiction helps you in those terms as well, right? Okay. All right then. I hope things are clear to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for today. Have a good day. Bye bye.